So today I'm going to reveal the number one cause of suffering in our lives. It's a big statement to say, but that's where we're going. We're going to go right to the core, straight up. We're going to be looking at what is behind the personal issues that we go through, the dramas, the trauma, and all of that stuff, and essentially how to turn it around. So a little bit about me. For the last 15 years, I've been supporting people to overcome drama, personal problems, and suffering in their lives. This is literally what I've been doing this on a weekly basis. Those challenges have come through, say, relationship drama. Who can relate to having relationship drama? I've had that experience. Yes. Relationship drama takes up most of my job. Okay. So it's a big one. Chronic health issues, addictions, who's experienced addictions in this life, working through those. Trauma. Yeah. Unresolved trauma, boundary issues, anxiety, depression, overwhelm, who's experienced those types of things. Can I get my hand? When will I get my hand out? So yeah, the point there is that we can all see we all have growth in these areas. Who's ever felt lost and directionless? I don't know, necessarily feel connected to my sense of purpose in this life. Essentially anything that doesn't feel, whenever someone has not felt aligned or felt off inside, or not at ease, not happy, something's wrong, they'll say, look, they're courageous enough and humble enough to say, can you help me out? Because I've heard that you can. And something over that time has become extremely clear. And it's going to sound really simple, but stay with me, okay? What everyone wants at the end of the day is just to feel okay. That's what everyone's looking for. I just want to feel okay. I want to feel just happy and fulfilled. That's it. Is that enough? Like, is that too much to freaking ask? I just want to feel all right. That's really, at the end of the day, what's going on. And there's a problem, though. There's a problem with this. This very innocent request from life is that reality keeps disturbing us. Who can relate to that? This reality is just irritating me. It's causing me problems, right? The things that are showing up in the world, right? So there's this belief for anyone who has a personal problem or an issue in their life, there's this belief that what's happening out there is disturbing me in here. Okay? That's the simple reality of it. What's happening out there is disturbing me in here. So this is how it looks. I was okay until, who can relate to this? I was okay until I got divorced. I was okay until that idiot took my car park. I was okay until I spilt wine all over my dress. I was okay until whatever it is. There's this idea that I was okay until something happens. Or I'd be okay if. I'd be okay if. Who can relate to this already? I'd be okay if. I'd be okay if everyone in the government wasn't an idiot. I'd be okay if people would just shut up. I'd be okay if I had $1 million. I'd be okay if. Who can relate to this? This notion is there. It's very simple. So it turns out being educated in how to handle your internal state when life disturbs us is extremely rare. Did anyone here get educated at school how to deal with your internal state when life disturbs you? So this is what happens. Life disturbs you. This is what you do. Do you remember getting this education? I mean, we learned how to read and write and all that for like at least 11, 12 years, something like this. But dealing with our internal state, this is not the subject. All right. So this is important. And why is it so important? Because being able to handle your internal state is what results in happiness in our lives. Happiness is, or peace is, or joy is, or love is your capacity to handle what goes on inside you when life disturbs you, in many cases. And that includes when you get what you want, because life will take it off you and now you're disturbed. So it's everything. So I call this education self-intelligence. The education of self-intelligence is, how do I deal with when life disturbs me? You could say it like that. How do I learn? How do I let go of these things? How do I approach situations in an authentic way, in a way that feels true, in a way that's aligned with my heart? That's what self-intelligence is. Now, again, this was not a subject I learnt for myself, or for the many clients that have come to me over the years. They didn't seem to have this intelligence themselves either. So the result of that, not being conditioned with this basic level of intelligence, if you like, that I like to put it in that way because it means it can be learnt, is we tend to look to anything other than ourselves to feel okay inside. That's the habit. That is something that may take a bit of awareness to see that, but it's a very, very common pattern. Or if I can avoid what I don't want to happen, I'll feel okay as well. Most people actually know more about what they don't want than they want. Who can relate to that? It's like, I'm not really sure what I want, but I do know what I don't want. Because if that thing happens that I don't want, I'm not going to be okay with that. I'm not going to feel okay about that. And now I'm going to feel inside like shit. Okay? Don't want this. And then why do we believe this to be true? Why do we believe that if we can make the outside the way that we want, or we can avoid what we don't want, we'll feel okay inside? Why do we believe this to be true? The belief comes from the fact that when you get what you want, you experience feeling good. You do experience it. Who here experiences that you feel okay when things go the way that you want them to go? That's it. It's very simple. When shit goes the way I want it to go, I feel okay. When it doesn't go the way I want it to go, look at when two teams, sporting teams, one wins and one loses. What do you see happen? One feels very okay about this, and the other feels not okay about this. The result, the external result, naturally brings about that manifestation of feeling. So I feel good when I get what I want. I don't feel good when I don't get what I want. Now, this might seem overly simplistic at this point, but you're about to explore how this goes into great depth and subtlety in our experience of life. Living this way is like living on an emotional roller coaster of highs and lows. Who can relate to that? Who's ever felt like my life feels like a roller coaster of ups and downs? Yeah. I'm high when I'm getting what I want, and I'm low when I'm not getting what I want. It's very simple. And it's at the foundation of every trigger you've ever experienced. So this life is an endless addiction that never truly satisfies or delivers on the promise when we're coming from this way of being. Okay? Addiction. Why is it an addiction? Because you have to add something to yourself to feel okay. It's that simple. I've got to add this, then I can breathe, I'm okay. And when the thing's gone, I need to add it again. So everybody in some way is dealing with that addiction in this life. Oftentimes we think of addiction, we just think of taking drugs or smoking or something like this. That is a level of addiction that deals with the same thing, but everybody's dealing with this at some level. Eckhart Tolle says, addiction starts with pain and ends with pain. Starts with pain and ends with pain. Who can relate to that for yourself if you've ever had addictions you're dealing with? How does an addiction start? I don't feel okay inside. It's that simple. I don't feel okay inside. What can I get to make me feel okay? This thing. It doesn't matter what it is. Chuck on Netflix. I feel okay. I feel chilled. Whatever it is. Go scrolling on my phone. Yep, I feel okay. Self-medicating. Yes, I feel okay. Whatever it is. Could be a person. So the question is there another way? Because if you're here for a wake-up experience, you're open to that. You're open to that. Is it possible that you're okay and fulfilled right now? Who reckons? Who reckons you might be okay and fulfilled right now without anything outside changing? So nothing changed. Nothing changed. Think of the challenges you're going through in your life right now. Think of the little the thorns in your side, the things like, if that thing just stopped happening, I'd be all right. Or once I get over this thing, I'll be all right. Or whatever it is. Yeah? Or once this thing goes away, or when, whatever. Is it possible that right now you feel okay without any of that changing? Most of you are saying yes. So let's actually take that into an experiential level, right? Because that's the first important step to coming through anything. So you can imagine, right? I get a client that says, this is what my issue is, and I want you to help me with it. My husband is an alcoholic who is gambling our money away. And I'm with 3 kids and I'm super vulnerable and I cannot sleep. I've got skin rashes coming up with the stress that I'm dealing with. I'm petrified of what might happen. This is a high disturbance, yes? The first place we go is, where are you stable now, before anything happens, before he stops drinking alcohol, before any of these changes happen? Where are you stable and okay in this second, before you start addressing any of that stuff? That's most important step. Who can relate to that being the most important step? Who feels like that's almost practical in some way? Yes. So let's do this. Everybody get comfortable, because I'm going to take you into the space in which that is true right now in this moment. So making sure you don't have distractions, that you can listen in, close the eyes. You may or may not have done meditation before. All this is just following the pointing that I'll be taking you through and really giving yourself permission to be here. As soon as you close your eyes and quieten down, the mind starts to trigger off, going to your to-do list, thinking about what you've got to do in life, all of that. Just let go of any responsibility right now. Let go of any idea of my life right now. Give yourself permission for that. So the purpose of this process we're about to go through is to show in your immediate experience that beyond any situation that you're currently dealing with in your life, that you're okay, that you're actually at peace, which is very important before addressing the practicalities of any issue that's going on. And this is actually going to be a very powerful discovery of yourself, beyond the thoughts in your mind, beyond the voice in your head, beyond anything you can identify with. So this is a discovery. And I first want you to just notice your body and notice the temperature that you can feel, and see that you are breathing, and this is happening automatically. It's happening naturally. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and you're just going to answer them within yourself. You can even nod or say yes or anything like that, but I'm going to ask you some questions. And you cannot get these wrong, right? You simply look and confirm what you're seeing in yourself. So can you confirm in your direct experience right now that there is an uncreated sense or knowing that you exist? So without doing anything at all, creating anything at all, you just know that you exist. No one had to teach you this. You don't have to believe it. It's in the background. I exist. You can even just verify, you maybe slightly nod, yes, that's there. Just so that you're not falling asleep and not going off into the busyness of your day and all of that. Okay, there's a sense of existence. And this knowing that you exist doesn't depend on your self-image, your self-descriptions, or the person even that you take yourself to be. Because you got to realize that there's a sense that there's a person living inside you, isn't there? So if you were to have your name removed, does this change that sense that you exist? If you were to have your name removed, do you still exist? So you're not your name. If you were to have your roles removed, you may be a mother or a father or student or child, or you work in certain places or you do certain things. If these roles were removed, do you still exist? And even if your memories were taken away, some people have accidents like motorbike accidents and so on, and they wake up in the hospital and they don't have any memory of their life. But does that sense of existence go away? Is that still there? So of all your memories, because there's a lot of memories that you don't have with you right now. Do you still exist beyond your memories? Okay, so you're not defined by your memory. You're not defined by your roles or your name at this point. You exist beyond all of this, yes? Okay. What about your achievements? If you to take all your achievements away, would you still be here? Yes. And your likes and your dislikes? I like this, I don't like that. That's who I am. But what if we took that away? Are you still here? So notice that anything that I could name about you can be taken away, but you still exist. And exist as what? If you're not your name, if you're not your memories, if you're not your likes and dislikes, if you're not the roles that you play, if you are none of these things, then who are you? What is this? You are the one observing your body. Can you confirm that you can hear sound right now? You can hear the sound of my voice. You may be able to hear sound in the room. Cars going past. And notice that you can listen without there being thought or belief. You don't have to control your capacity to listen. And you don't have to be a person to listen. Listening is happening all by itself. Can you confirm this is happening? Yes? We'll have time for questions after this if there's any confusion. If you say 1, 1, 1, 1 in your mind, just say this now, 1, 1, 1 in your mind. Are you hearing this with your physical ears? So what's happening is you're starting to see there's some kind of awareness. There's an awareness of all of this stuff that I've mentioned. Your name, your roles, your body. Even this, if you were to say 1 in your mind, you are aware of the sound of that. All true? There's an awareness. And you can confirm that your physical eyes are shut right now. Yes, everyone confirm. Yep, my physical eyes are shut. can you see that sight is still happening while your eyes are shut? Yes or no? That you can see. There's sight. There's some ability to see, even though your eyes are shut. Now, while you have the capacity to close your physical eyes, can you close the eyes of awareness? So the eyes that are behind your eyes, can you close these eyes? Even if you close your eyes as strongly as you can, like really try to shut your eyes, can you shut the eyes of awareness? Squeeze them as hard as you can. Can you do it? No. So you can change your name just by filling out a form, but can you close the eyes of awareness? No. So notice this awareness is aware of your breathing, is even aware of your thoughts. Who here can be confirmed that I'm actually aware that I have thoughts? Like some days my thoughts are crazy. Some days my thoughts are really hurtful. You're aware of these thoughts. Yes? Okay. So just give yourself permission to recognize that you're not the person that you believed yourself to be fundamentally. You are actually this awareness. Because the person is made up of past and future and likes and dislikes and all of that stuff that keeps changing. But if I was to scream at you and yell abuse, this would hurt the person. The person would feel very offended about this. How dare you say that about me? But right now, you're seeing that that is actually not who I am deeper down. I'm deeper down, I'm this awareness. And not as a nice, fluffy idea, but as the fact of your experience. This is very important because I'm going to ask you questions about awareness now. So is anyone not following me so far? You can everyone just stay in the recognition of that awareness. If anyone's not following me or doesn't quite understand, I want to clarify that before we go further. Because this is an unusual thing to see, to recognize. We're not pointed here, okay? Very, very often. Behind everything, behind the whole idea of my life, who has a sense that I've got my life and you're living my life, I'm living my life? Who's had this sense? Who's got this sense? Yep, this is my life. Now you're seeing, actually, there's something actually that's a step back from that. There's this awareness that's actually aware that I have an idea I have in my life. Okay, so there is a step back from this. It's very, very important. Now, I want you guys to answer me. So you can say yes or put a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Okay, I want to make sure that you're with me. This is very important. Does the awareness, which is perceiving the images and the voices in your head and everything else I mentioned, does this awareness have a shape about it? So don't create anything, just experience. Does this awareness have a shape? So I want to get the thumbs up and the thumbs down. Okay. So for anyone who's got their thumb up, I just want to talk to you for a second. And everyone else, just stay in the seat of this awareness. It's very calming, very beautiful experience. So what is the shape of awareness? What is the shape that you're seeing awareness takes?
For me, it was just like a bit like a ball of energy. Like it was just pulsating.
Perfect. So what is aware of the ball of energy? And I'm going to ask you another question. Is that which is aware of the ball of energy, does it have a shape?
I'm getting confused.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. And you're actually helping everybody because This is very important. So when I asked about awareness, you saw a ball of energy, yes? It's like you saw this ball of energy. What I'm asking you is, are you observing the ball of energy, yes or no?
No, I am the ball of energy.
So how can you see the ball of energy?
That's a good point.
Yeah, but this is why it's called a wake-up experience, because because what everybody's in is what's called form identity. So we think we're the forms that we're seeing. Okay, that's what we identify with. But if you ask the question, how can I be aware of the form itself? If I was the form, how could I be aware of it? See?
Yes, I'm sort of standing out. I'm not really myself. I'm standing outside observing myself.
Yes. Okay, so you're observing the ball of energy. Yeah. Something is somehow observing it because you can say there's a ball of energy. Yeah. And I'm asking you, does the one observing the ball of energy have a shape?
I don't see a shape.
There's no shape.
No.
Okay, so if I said, does this awareness have a shape? Now you could say, no, there's no shape.
Mm.
Shapes come in front of it. I see a lot of things, but it itself is shapeless. Yes?
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, as long as that's true for you in your experience. Because this is not a belief. It's just that's what I'm experiencing.
Yeah, just experiencing it. I'm like standing outside looking.
Okay. All right, cool. Let's keep going. From there, does the awareness begin somewhere and end somewhere? Could you say, oh, awareness starts at this point and ends at this point? Does awareness have a start or a beginning? Yes or no?
This is very challenging for me.
Thank you for saying that, because actually that's the truth for most people, particularly in the beginning. Okay, so if you come back to observing the shape that you saw, could you say awareness starts right here and it ends here? Could you say this? It's just yes or no.
Yes. So I can see it where it starts and ends. Yeah.
Okay, so you can see where awareness starts and ends. Okay, so that which is aware of where it starts, that which is aware of where awareness starts, does it start somewhere?
I got nothing.
Perfect. That's a very intelligent answer. That's just coming from your experience. Okay. So everybody do this. Don't just tune into it. Just stay with me. Stay with Ryan, for example. See this for yourself. If I can see the start, then what's observing that start? Does it have a start? You've got to do this. Very important. This is not just a mind trick. This is a fundamental seeing that is misperceived in our everyday lives. This is fundamental to addressing the personal issues and drama and suffering that is in our lives that is rarely ever looked at, because we don't originally see where we're looking from and think we're the thing that's being disturbed. This is very important. Can you find your specific location in awareness? If I was to say, where do you exist? Can you say, I exist here? You may be able to. You may say, oh, yeah, I exist between my ears. Some people feel like this.
I think it's kind of the same for me. So it would come around from my heart and just be the upper body.
Okay.
In the sternum, and it kind of extends towards my shoulders to the side, and I feel like it kind of goes past my body.
Okay. So where specifically are you located?
My heart. On the left-hand side here, close to the sternum, I think, but it's just right in there, like deep inside.
So close your eyes, go in there. And where in there do you exist? Can you say, it's exactly here. This is where I start. This is where me is.
I can actually feel it like as not a pain point, but it's just right there. It's just very tense spot.
Okay. Yes. And then you keep going in. Are you witnessing this spot? Yes or no? Don't think. Are you witnessing this spot?
Yes. I don't really know what you mean with witnessing, but I kind of feel like it's a yes.
Well, you just told me where you exist. So you must be witnessing it or observing it. Yes? To be able to tell me where it is, you must be seeing it there. Where is the location of the one observing where you've pointed me?
My head, I guess.
Okay, so you've changed location.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, so first of all, your head was observing yourself in your heart. This is what you're saying. Yes?
Yeah, I guess. I never
Yep.
thought about it, but yes.
Yeah, your head is observing, I'm here in my heart, this point here. Now I'm going to ask you another question. Who is observing that you're in your head? And where's its location?
There's no answer to it yet.
Yes, you don't have an answer, do you?
No.
No. Just like Ryan, when I asked him, all of a sudden you go, you know what you get to? You go, you know, the most intelligent answer about yourself is, I don't know. If I really look, I cannot say. It's indescribable. True or not?
True.
But first of all, I asked you to describe yourself and you went, I was here and there, and you had all these creative ideas. And then I said, okay, where were you coming from to see that? And you said, from my head. And then I said, where are you coming from to see that? And you say, I don't know. Yes? Perfect. That's exactly the process. Yes? Because it's best to be out of the I know mind into the unknown. Have you heard the word mystic? A mystic knows this because a mystic knows who I am is a mystery. That's what mystic comes from, mystery. I have no idea. All I can say is I exist. I cannot even say what I exist as. If I really look, if I'm honest, when I look, I cannot say. Yes, it feels embarrassing to say, I don't know, as Ryan says. Yes, it does, because we walk around in our everyday lives 100% confident I know who I am. Who's felt like that? Every day you go, I know who I am. Of course you say, of course I know who I am. But if you actually ask, what is that? You're like, I don't know, actually. If I'm really honest, I don't know. This is perfect. That's humility. So let's keep going. Is it possible for this awareness to be against anyone or for anything? No. Like, does it have an age? Can you put an age to it? You go, oh, it's 50 years old. It's 100 years old. Can you put an age to this awareness? That is observing what's going on. Can anyone put an age to it? Not so far. Some of you are like, I'm spinning out. Where is this going? I didn't come here for this. Like, what is this? Now, this is critically important, and it's your experience. I'm only pointing it out. That's all I'm doing. So, okay, can I say, no, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Can you own it? Do you own this awareness? Yes or no? No? If I asked you, can you close the eyes of awareness? Try do it. If you own it, you should be able to close it. Can you do it? No, you don't have this control. It's just there. Yes? Okay. Do you have to believe in awareness? Right? Do you have to believe it? Like, do you believe in awareness? Do you have to believe it? Or is it just there? So awareness is not a belief system, is it? Oh, Sarah, yes. Yes, Sarah just said in the comment, when I tune into awareness, it just feels like love. Who else can verify that? That is bang on. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Is there any distance? I've only got a couple more questions, 2 more questions. Is there any distance between you and awareness? Like, I'm here and awareness is over there. Yes? I want to get super clear. Most people are saying no. Does anyone have that? Don't feel embarrassed. You're helping everyone if you have any confusion. Okay? You're helping everyone. Okay, I'm here. So I thought I knew what I was, but anyway, there's this awareness. Can I distance myself from it? Like, is there me? Or if there's a me, is there awareness of it? Yes, there's a me inside and I'm aware of it. Is there any distance between me and this awareness? And all of a sudden you're there. There's no distance. So this is the last question I want to ask you that's really, really important. Is the awareness the same in me as it is in you? And I'm not saying the awareness of, okay, because everyone has different levels of awareness of different things. I'm saying the awareness itself, is it different in me as it is in you?
I don't know if my awareness is the same as yours.
Okay, so if I'm asking you, is the awareness the same in me as it is in you? And you're wondering, I don't know if it's the same. Then it's assuming that I have a personal awareness, doesn't it?
Oh, okay.
If this awareness has no shape and no start and no age and no beginning, is this awareness personal to me?
Yeah, right.
So, yeah. So, in your experience, then, if you are truly recognizing what I just said, what is your intuitive now answer to that?
My awareness is the same as your awareness.
You have ever heard that we're all one? This is the fact of that. Not as a nice idea, but as an actual experiential fact. I am shapeless. I'm observing everything that's happening, and this shapelessness is the same observer in everybody else. But what I'm aware of and you're aware of is very different in a relative sense. Totally different. Totally unique to the person. Yes? But the awareness itself is the same. Does it make sense? Yes. Okay. Very important, because now we practically understand where we're the same in that, at that foundational level. Has anyone got a problem with that? Does anyone feel like, oh, I don't like that idea? Well, something about that is I've got resistance. Or does something about that feel really like, oh, what a relief. What a relief. That's so simple. Yeah. Being here in this space is your home. This is your foundation. Awareness is the foundation of your experience. Everything else is in the changing realm, flux, moving, coming, going, quite unstable actually. When I said, if someone comes with a problem, with an issue that they're struggling with, and their immediate reaction is to go out there to try and fix the world, to try and make it better, to try and control it in such a way that it would be what would make me feel okay inside. The first place I take anybody is to where you're already okay. Now, as awareness, are you already okay? Is it possible not to be okay at that level? Okay. So now, from this vibration, which Sarah pointed out very importantly, which is the vibration of love, you have an immense capacity to now approach the practicalities of any challenge going on in your life. You have a much more stable, respectful place to approach challenges of life. Yes? But in the mind space, the chaotic, freaking out mind that whatever's happening is not lining up with my life that I want it to be, this place is a very unstable place to be dealing with challenges. So all we're talking about is, are we going to be coming from a place of fear, which is where the mind will take things? And we're going to get deeply into that in the next chapter of this wake-up experience. Or am I going to start from the vibration of love, which is who I am, not the love of, not I love this person, I love this thing, and I love the world. No, you don't. That's not how we operate. You come back to awareness and you are that love, straight up. No fluff. I don't do fluff, okay? Because it doesn't help anyone. At the end of the day, reality will come and take the rug out of under you, and you'll see how unstable you are. This is going to be now the anchor point that I'm going to keep coming back to for the rest of the process, that you can anchor back and say, no, I'm the seer of this, and I'm not in the turbulence of what's going on here. Okay. So does anybody want to bring anything up at this point or feel?
Can you reframe awareness? I just don't seem to. I'm in here and I can't get out of here. And I can feel the heat and the blood rush into my head. That's why I'm like sore neck, going like this in the.
Why don't we start there then? Why don't we start there? So what I want you to do is close your eyes and notice that you are seeing and observing this tension in your neck, as an example, and the heat in your head. Yeah? So something is seeing that. There's something able to be aware of that.
I feel it. I don't see it.
Okay, so you feel it. Okay. So feeling is awareness, yes or no? Okay, because if you weren't aware of the feeling, then you couldn't say the feeling was there.
Correct.
Okay, so that's clear. So I'm aware of the feeling, yes. And now, when you have a bad feeling like that, the mind will come in, won't it? Be like, oh, I'm so sick of this freaking neck ache and this head thing. The mind will start talking about it, yes? Are you aware that your mind doesn't like what you're experiencing?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so we've got 2 levels of awareness now. You've got the feeling level of awareness of the sensation, and you've got the level of awareness that your mind is in resistance to what you're experiencing. Now, is the awareness itself struggling? So there's definitely pain in your head and pain in your body. This is definitely happening. There's no question about that.
It's not struggling. It's just there.
Okay, that's it. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
And that awareness that's aware of your thoughts, is it struggling? Or is it just aware of your thoughts too?
It's just aware.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for bringing it up. You're actually what makes this experience worthwhile. Your question. So deep appreciation for your questions there, because this is unusual seeing, isn't it? We just take it for like, we don't realize there's this awareness happening.
I felt a lot of peace in that state.
Isn't it beautiful to know that, and guaranteed, every time you put attention back to yourself, you're in peace, you're in happiness, you're in joy, you're in love. Every time. Not one time will it fail.
What do you mean attention back to yourself? Going in to that state, that awareness.
Yes. So all I did there was I just pointed your attention to yourself. And then all of a sudden, and you don't create it. This is the important thing. Okay. Because when we try to improve our lives, we try to create things. Right? Don't we? It's like, if I do this and this and that and the other thing, I'll create the life that I want and create the life that'll make me happy. And it's like, but wait a sec. Firstly, because that's all fine, but firstly, I have all of that right in this second. Let's start there and create from there even. Yeah, and it's totally different. One comes from abundance, because why is abundant? It's never not there. So you have it in abundance. Now your creativity in your life is abundance based, not lack based. Because from the other place, it's, I don't have the thing that I want and I'm creating what I want to feel okay. And now it's lack driven, and lack driven activity and efforts only lead to more suffering. So your natural state, as Sarah already said, is the vibration of love, truth as well, because truth is confused by ideas in the mind. The only truth that there is awareness itself. Everything else is changing. It's just a relative. So relative means changing. So someone might have a scientific thing. They say, this is true. And then 3 months later, it's changed. So okay, what's true? All right. Now, that's a whole big discussion, but that you are the truth itself in the awareness, and wisdom comes from this place. That's your natural nature when you're not consumed with the idea that you're a person inside you. So for me, the meaning of life is to live in this vibration. It's like everything life is doing is trying to support me to surrender to this state, this recognition. Okay. And when you are in the vibration of love and truth and wisdom, I call this self-intelligence. So you are now living from the intelligence of yourself, your true self, which is governed by everything. Awareness and the intelligence of awareness is behind all of creation. So much easier way to be, much more in flow. And you will notice when you've dropped fear and you're coming from a place of love, how much things flow, don't they? There's something, it's like the wind is in your sails. Things just have power about them. So learning how to return to your natural state when life challenges you is the path of true freedom, okay? Learning how to return to your natural state when life challenges you. I want to now look at what distracts you from your natural state. If your natural state is always there, permeating everything, what's distracting that? What's pulling your attention, as we discussed just there back before, is, oh, I just put my attention somewhere else. But where's the attention going most of the time, and why? So now we're going to look at the problem. We're going to look at triggers, okay?